Today I'm going to show you just one very simple trick to make your chord sound better, make your chord sound cooler, make your chord progression sound more professional. Just one trick, you can use it right away. Let's get into it. Before I start, I'm going to play for you two versions of the same chord progression, and let's see whether you can hear right away what that tip is. Okay, so here's version one where there's nothing added, just a very simple chord progression. I'm going to play in the key of C, and it's just going to be, let's see, C, and then G over B, A minor, and an F. Okay, here's the version one, normal with nothing added. Okay, here's version one. Here's version two with the trick added in. Did you hear what I added? And this is actually very simple, but it adds a little bit of nuance, it adds a little bit of detail into the chord progression, and I believe it sounds better. And this is actually what I'm doing. I'm just going to give it to you right away. Here it is. And if you listen to a lot of pop piano players, gospel, jazz, a lot of them will do this kind of stuff. And you can call it a slide. You can call it a grace note if you're from classical. You can call it a hammer-on. Hammer-on is actually more for guitar players. The guitar is made in a way that it's very easy to do those sort of slides and grace notes in the middle of the chord. Anyway, so for piano players, it's a little bit not as sort of instinctive, because when we approach grace notes, most of the time, as I talked about in one of our previous videos, is a lot of times grace notes we approach it in terms of a melodic kind of a sense. Right? But it's not as instinctive for us to add a grace note in the middle of the chord. And so once we add that, it adds just a little bit of movement into your chord progression. Very simple, again. What we will do then, I'll just show you, is when you play any chord, you aim for that middle note to add a grace note in. And it's very simple for us, because when we play the 1, 3, 5 with our hand here, we use the finger 1, 3, and 5. The 2 finger is just chilling. There's nothing to do. So instead of just going like that, you can do, right? You can do it in the key, a whole step. You can do it out of the key, a half step. Right, so if I just go, if I just go slowly without chord progression, here it is. And you don't even, sometimes you don't even have to play the thumb. And you're going to realize, if you take out the thumb, one of the cool things about this is, once you play a little bit with those slides and stuff like that, you're going to start to incorporate some melodies inside your chord. Right, that's very cool. And so all of a sudden your chord playing has melody involved in it, and it's extra cool because it's inside the chord, is in the middle of the chord, not the top, not the bottom. Okay, let's give you one more example. Let's try something in D. Let's do a chord progression 4, 5, 6, 1. Let's try it. Right? Obviously, you don't want to do it for every single chord, but a lot of times, every once in a while you add a little. It's going to make your chord have a little bit more detail, a little bit of nuance in it. Okay, so that's the trick to make your chords sound a little bit cooler, a little bit more elaborate. Practice your chords whenever you have any chord playing. Practice that. Holding the 1 and a 5 and moving those inner fingers. It does take a little bit of practice because it means we have to be independent in our fingers. Those middle fingers move, but the outside don't. Okay, so practice those, and hopefully you can use this and make your chord playing just a little bit more fun. Just one more level higher, okay? If this is interesting, if this is helpful to you, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next video.